Okay, YouTube, another black screened video, because this is on my iTouch, and I'm not gonna show you guys what I look like today, because I don't look nice today. I look rather crappy today. Because it's summer, I just graduated, but that is not the most important thing in this video. Really, this is just about, if you do not read a lot of Hitalia fanfiction, this video is not important for you to watch. I need to know of hopefully several of my subscribers like Hitalia. I would feel bad if you guys didn't. I mean, hey, to each his own, but still. You're crazy if you don't watch it. Anyway, a lot of my favorite Hitalia fanfictions have just not been existing. Several of them take forever to update. I understand that. That's completely understandable. Long update periods, everyone's busy. I can get that. You know, if I have to wait 6 months for a chapter and it's worth it, I've got no problem. But there are some people who have not updated in a couple years with really, really great fan fictions. And it's not even like on their bio page they have anything like, I'm generally really busy, or they don't have any personal information for which I could track them on the internet and be like, hey, are you all right? You know, sometimes I worry that people get hurt. It seems like every time I find something new I like, the person in charge of it has something very, very bad happen to them. If anyone's familiar with TJ Animal, great comic. Shortly after I added it to my bookmarks, E.K. Weaver's like, hey guys, I'm sorry if the update's late. I got hit by a car. Of course, she was really chill about it, but at the same time, that's not the first time that something like that has happened right after I move something to my bookmarks. So I just get a little nervous. If anyone's familiar with the fanfiction Jones Paranormal Investigation Agency by, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, Feufollets, Feuxfollets. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. But, yeah. It's an amazing fan fiction. She's like 30 chapters into this thing, and she just stopped and hasn't updated in a year or 3. Anything by Absolute Power has taken quite a while. I can understand that, though. I mean, her piece Winner Takes All has definitely piqued my interest. However, I mean, I can understand when something in my favorites takes a while to update, but the big question here is, I have forgotten the title of a fan fiction that I very much liked, and I'm almost sure I moved it to my favorites, but it's not there anymore, and I can't remember it. To find it, if it's anywhere else. I don't remember who it's by. I remember the storyline, and that's it. I don't remember the last time it updated. So I was hoping that if any of you guys were familiar with, if you read a lot of M-rated Hitalia, US, UK, AU pieces, which is what this is. I forget what it's called, but it's Alfred and Arthur are best friends. Alfred gets drunk, confesses his love to Arthur. Arthur freaks out. They end up both going to this mountain lake. Neither of them knows that the other one's there. They end up getting snowed in up there. Then they leave the next morning. And they both arrived in different cars, so they're driving one right after the other, and all the roads are snowed in. And Alfred's driving ahead, and he takes a turn, and he crashes into this other guy, right? And his car is just, like, on fire. And Arthur loses his shit and just jumps out and tugs Alfred out of the car. And they get to the hospital, and Arthur won't let go of Alfred, like, the entire time, despite the fact he's like, I don't like you. No, of course not. They can't, like, tear him away. And then they find out that Alfred suffered less damage than Arthur because his coat is made of leather. and Arthur burned his forearms pulling Alfred out of the car, and Alfred felt bad about it. And it took them a while, and finally they were sharing a hotel room, and Arthur realized that he could, fall in love with Alfred. And then it's just this moment where you're like, oh, that's the end of the fan fiction. How sweet. And then she zooms out, and there's someone watching them. And it's Gilbert, and for some reason he's something like a paid assassin, and no information is really given about him specifically yet. And then, oh my god, it's such a good fan fiction. Like, I'm walking in circles right now. It's just, I can't find it. And so far, the last chapter was a France and Canada chapter. I love them. So what happens is, Gil's after Alfred and Arthur. Matthew has to come back to town to stay in the family house with Alfred because he got beaten up at college. And so his face is all marred and his back is all marred and he's got like infected knife wounds and stuff because he pissed somebody off by not doing their homework. I hope I'm not that guy when I go to college. But yeah, so he comes home and he bumps into Francis at the airport, and Francis and Arthur work together with Kiku at like a jewelry counter in the mall. And is this familiar to anybody? Does anybody know what this is called? Because I'm sure I had it in my favorites list, and I checked today. I was like, gee, I wonder if anything's updated. Because lately all I've been reading is Invader Zim fanfiction. No Return by Knock Please. I suggest it to everybody. So good. Anyway, I've been reading a lot of Invader Zim fanfiction, so, I haven't had a lot of time to stare at my favorites, and I went through them today, and I was like, where's that one? Because my mom was watching something where a car blew up while someone was trying to get a woman out of it, and I was like, that reminds me of that one fanfiction, which was really good, and I wonder if it's updated, and it's just not in my favorites list anymore. And so I got on Google search, and I was like, hey, Google, in which Italia fanfiction does Arthur tear Alfred out of a car crash and burn his forearms in the process? Yeah, nothing. A bunch of fanfictions called Crash. And I'm like, that's cool. I'm cool for one of those storylines, but at the same time, that's not what I'm looking for. I don't remember what it's called. I don't remember who it's by. All I know is, like, Alfred and Arthur and Matthew and Francis, and there's some push at Gilbert Roderick, but really Gilbert's just kind of a douchebag, which is cool. I like him that way. But it stopped with Matthew hugging France, and then he just went up to bed, and France was like washing dishes. And that was the last update I read. I don't know if it updated since or if it's been taken down, but if anybody knows which fanfiction I'm talking about and can find it for me, please tell me and like send me a link or something, because I miss it. Okay, now that was 8 minutes of me ranting. So yeah, if you know that fanfiction, awesome. If you haven't read some of the ones I mentioned, like Jones Paranormal Investigation Agency and Winner Takes All, I definitely suggest them. Both awesome, and maybe your support, along with my constant screaming of, is there going to be an update? Is there going to be an update? Might help there to be an update. So, I'm going to put out a list pretty soon of all the fanfictions I think everybody should read. And I'm not going to push them on you people. I'm not going to jump on you and force feed you and stuff. I don't tend to do that unless you're really close, I do that to people I personally know, but not to people who like me over the internet. I won't scare you guys away just yet. So, yeah, if that, and another use, I graduated high school on the 23rd of May. So, yeah. If you want to leave me a high five comment, that'd be nice. If you want to leave me a comment telling me which fanfiction I just described, please do. Okay, but yeah. And stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go now, because this is 10 minutes long. Okay, bye.